If your parents were to show up as apparitions, because generally spirits take the shape of your loved ones, how would you decipher whether it was real or not?
Verbal OTP. Hi guys, welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani.
I'm Naina Bhan. And belated happy Diwali.
Belated happy Diwali. We're meeting for the first time after the festive season. Why won't we pictured together in this festive
we
season?
weren't pictured together because I flew back home. I had to get my dose of Delhi for the 5 days before Diwali when the AQI is dealable.
Woo.
Woo! And
also we're not famous enough to be pictured together
Yeah,
anywhere.
fair.
But yeah, I got a lot of like, where's your bestie Naina? Why aren't you spending Diwali with her?
I got a lot of, बेटा मुझे समझाइए आप करते क्या हो? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है.
In person?
Yes.
I was saying in DM.
No, one-on-one. I've sat with each of my relatives and I've tried to explain to them what I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
My family has finally decided to take some like legitimacy in what I do because we interviewed Adam Mosseri.
Oh.
That's the only reason. They're like, oh, these big people want to talk to Sakshi and Naina.
Yeah.
So it must be legit. And also, we haven't revealed this yet, but we rented our first office space, which is currently under construction. So then my dad's like, oh, legit business, huh?
So legit business. So legit business. No, I think, on Diwali, Sakshi and her mom came to the studio to do puja. We had our first digital puja, digital snan, digital many things.
Yeah.
And it was so emotional. I was really teary-eyed. My mom was super teary-eyed. My sister said, I'm talking to someone, I'll chat late.
My sister was also like, I'm at lunch.
Yeah. I think I figured out my sister and I's adult relationship, and it's the best. So, for 5 days, every day, we want to spend time together. So, we sat together in one room. I was reading a book, she was on her phone interchangeably. Then we'd start talking. Then we'd have an argument. And then we'd continue scrolling, okay? And then we would forget that we were mad at each other. We would forget to apologize. Then we'd start talking again, have another argument. And I was like, okay, that's what it is. That's the circle.
That's sisterhood.
Yeah.
I feel like I have personally made a lot of headway in my relationship with my sister. We argued on day 1 of Diwali, and then we forgot about it on day 2 because there was no other cousin at the family event, so we had to talk to each other. And on day 3, she has come to me and said, listen, I'm allowing you to style me. I'll come with you for a shopping spree. And, you know, maybe I'm a bitch. But I'm like the kind of person at like a family event where they're like, fuck, if we're not wearing a nice outfit, Sakshi's gonna say something like, oh, interesting outfit, or like, why are you wearing that, or something like that. So my sister has been the victim of that a bunch of times. So the fact that she's finally allowing me to dress her, I literally hugged her and I started like tearing up. I was like, this is a new phase for you and me. And the thing is, my sister looks like me, but she has my dream body. So I can really dress her how I want to.
My sister too has my dream body.
And very exciting Diwali for me. But I have a dilemma that I wanted to bring on the pod this Diwali. So, festive season, everyone's doing a little teen patti here and there. My friends and I, like these guys I know, they were talking about how basically this one guy was dating this girl and they had gone on a trip together. Now, on this trip, they bought poker chips or like some fucking chips. Okay, I don't gamble, so I don't really know. But he paid $10 and she paid $10, and then he gambled. She had gone somewhere and he increased it to $400. And she was like, okay, so we'll split it even, right? Because she also gave $10 towards the cause. And all the guys were like, bro, $10 is what she deserves back. But I'm of the school of thought that she deserves $200.
She deserves $10.
What? Why?
Because she wasn't part of the luck. She wasn't at that table. She didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, but what if she was at that table but didn't participate?
So then you have an understanding that you're my luck, you sit next to me, and we play this together as a people, and we leave this table together. She essentially seeded him his opening money. So technically, she only gets back what she
No,
seeded.
why would I? Who seeds and only gets what they seeded? They're seeding into something,
No, what do you mean?
Like, why
it's
would I
not a
give you? It's a loan.
It's not Shark Tank.
It is
know
Shark
it's
Tank.
not.
And I only think that this guy is salty because they ended up breaking up. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been an issue.
You know, you could have just spent that money towards the couple as a nice thing.
Yeah.
But technically, you're right. $10 was what she had to get.
I'm very upset that all the guys were like, oh, bro, $10.
Okay, so if we reverse the roles, and I was like, the girl won 400 and the guy asked for 200, would you say yes, or would you give him $10?
I like splitting everything half-half.
I don't agree with you. This is rigged. This is rigged. She would have been like, dump him right now. if he
I was
asks
like,
for
why does he
200."
even need the $10?
Yeah,
What does he want to buy? Who does he want to spend it on?
I'll buy na.
Okay,
Asli
fair
Sakshi.
enough. I quite argued the $200 point quite horribly. Then.
My issue with Diwali is that, right, it's become the most, like, I've never seen Diwali to be this overconsumption. Like, the outfits have changed, the way people are celebrating has changed, the time span of people buying, shopping, celebrate. I'm happy about it, but like, it's too much.
Dude, I saw Masaba, I saw like a lot of like brands were offering same day delivery on Diwali because the parties have gotten so heavy.
Yeah.
Like you can't just rock up in like a chicken curry kurta anymore. Not that I had anywhere to rock up to that often, but like, you know, you have to pull a look like there's like 5 looks for Diwali, and I made the grave mistake of eating a whole pizza before wearing a sari, and that is why my Diwali looks were cancelled this year. The photos.
I was going to ask because Sakshi had told me before I left, there was a full schedule. Sakshi, like Saturday, this one's house, Sunday, this one's house, Monday,
Yeah.
this one's house. There's zero. Like, I have not heard from Sakshi. The only place she's responding is on the company group where
Yeah.
she's like leaving these. I'm going to be busy. I have no idea what she's up to. I've seen her in a Meghna, she troublemaker reel in the background. So I'm like, okay, she's alive. There's
I'm alive. Yeah.
what happened?
Nothing happened. Basically, I only partied one night, and then I did like a lot of my family is visiting right now. So we had like family lunches and all, and like how much content to make when like 40,000 people in my family are talking at the same time.
Yeah.
So I just did that one party. I got extremely drunk that night, and then after that, we did the puja, which you saw me
Yeah.
for on a separate day, a day that I didn't eat any non-veg or anything before y'all come for me. And then, yeah, nothing. I had a very chill Diwali actually. I was at home most nights because my dog is scared of the fireworks. So he was sitting and rattling. And I saw that Carva ad where you can play some music. So we were playing like slow music for sushi when he was rattling under the bed.
The
and
dogs
that's it.
were really struggling.
The dogs are always struggling. New Year's, like any like to burst firecrackers, my dog is shaking. But my dog is shaking even if a car backfires, even if like someone yells at someone in Noida, my dog in Bandra is shaking. So you really can't attribute too much to my dog.
When I came back, I noticed Sakshi's looking different.
But
What
you
have you done?
always start this, and this is like too much with Kajol and Twinkle.
The only difference, I'm not heckling you at the end.
Oh, no, nothing. I changed my blush.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you actually something really embarrassing happened last week. Do you like this dress I'm wearing?
I do like it.
Okay, so when it came to my house, I didn't know if it would fit, okay, because it's a size extra small, but it has like ruche in the back, so I was like, I'm gonna try it on. So I tried it on and it fit. But now, because I've been working out so much, my back has gotten slightly chora.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I had to take it off. And unfortunately, a boyfriend was at the house at the time, and I had to stand like this while he took it off my body. And if that's not the quintessential brown girl experience with kurtas, which also I tried all my like lehenga cholis and none of them were fitting, which is also the reason I cancelled a bunch of Diwali parties this year because I had a little bit of a mentee bee about it. I told you.
No, because
Oh.
I had the same experience.
Okay.
I went to my cupboard in Delhi and I was like, okay, let me go through like all the clothes and see what's working. And I've left with one pile to tell my mom to make them all racer back because none of the arms are fitting. And I'm like, surely sizing has changed because I
Yeah.
feel like I look the same. My sister's like, you're a delusional bitch. Like,
No, you look literally the same. I don't know, with Indian clothes, every year you try them on and every year they fit in a different unflattering silhouette. And they're so expensive that I've literally had like a breakdown and everyone's like, why are you crying? And I was like, because I'm fat and broke. I can't buy a lehenga every fucking season.
Dude, my Masi has the best taste. So whenever she's got like this boudoir of lovely like festive clothes, and then when she like sizes out of them, she gives them to me and my sister.
Amazing.
I don't fit into them. So when she's sizing out, we're sizing out together. It doesn't
Ooh,
work.
girlhood.
Yeah. I've got a lot of dupattas and salwars. If anybody wants to give me a kurta,
You should
that's my
style
size.
them as
As what?
scarves.
Shut the fuck up. I'm not getting behind this trend. No way. The day I have taken a dupatta and a safety pin and gaslit myself into believing I've created an outfit,
It's the day this podcast ends because Naina is off the rails.
call a doctor.
Call a doctor. I have a flopcon and I have another thing. I just, because Naina and I actually, we meet very often when we're not filming, but this time because she was in Delhi, I haven't met her in a while and we drove to the podcast together today, but in silence. So we haven't brought anything in. But I wanted to discuss the swag gap in relationships.
Oh my god.
Shout out Nandini Khanna 23 on Instagram. She said we should bring in swag gaps and like why are people of different swag gaps dating?
Explain to the people what a swag gap is.
Like one person is swag, like it's a league thing, but league is like physical, right? Like hotness is the metric, but in a swag gap, swag is the metric.
let me take it on. A swag gap is when you and your partner have a difference, a pretty hefty difference in your charisma when it comes to your personality, your life,
Your sense of humor.
everything.
Like everything, where like one person is like personality stunted
Yeah.
and the other is like rizzed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that how all relationships are?
What do you mean?
Like most relationships, especially traditional Indian relationships, there's a huge swag gap.
Yeah, but like, do you think relationships can last if people are in different swag
I think
zones?
if there's money involved, for sure.
What if one person has the swag and the money?
Then yeah, it's tough.
Like you either have to be hot or swaggy or have money.
Yeah.
Like you have to have one of the three for sure.
Yeah.
And your problem and my problem is that we have all three.
What would you be most shortchanged by? Would you be shortchanged by a guy who has swag and money but not hot? Swag and hot but no money?
Hot and has money but no swag.
Swag.
Unfortunately, I feel like to start dating, it would be hot and has money but no swag. But I don't think the relationship would last if there was no swag. But I need them to be like a couple of swag leagues before me in the aspects that I think I'm really swaggy in because I don't like competition.
But you're the swaggiest person ever.
Yeah,
So,
but like I don't want people like say you meet me and my partner and you're like, damn, the swag gap is so large.
yeah.
I would be offended. Like I would be like, fuck, I can't be with someone that's bringing the swag of the couple
But
down.
if you don't feel like you're in a swag gap, why does it matter what anybody else
But
thinks?
if you feel it, I will feel it.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, you
you
know,
don't
when
have
I-
your own device to figure out if you're in a swag
But
gap.
you don't care what your friends think about the person you're dating.
You actually, 100 episodes ago, Sakshi Shivdasani has said that you shouldn't care about, like, you should
You
not.
shouldn't care, but do you care?
Me?
Like does one care? Like you mustn't care about like what your like looks. Obviously, you can't care what your friends think about the person you're dating. Ka looks, Like, because they don't have to fuck like, you know, it doesn't make any
You
sense.
can still say that this person is pleasant.
But why? Yeah, but like if you find someone's partner ugly,
Yeah.
when you firstly tell your friend, oh, he's ugly, if
That
they're
I would
already
never say.
dating, like it's not
I'll say
necessary.
he's pleasant.
He's
That's
pleasant.
my favorite word. It saves me a lot of
I say
problems.
interesting.
Yeah. That doesn't
Dynamic.
save her anything.
No.
Everyone's like, oh my god, this my
Such a
boyfriend's
bitch.
ugly. No, I don't care if my friends think that my partner's cool or uncool or whatever.
Swaggy.
Swaggy.
But do you date within your swag league? Or
Why do I feel like I'm buying a team in T20? I don't think I date within my swag league.
Oh, because I have a friend recently who broke up with his partner, and we all have been discussing the swag gap a lot because we thought like there was a swag gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've all met this girl only one time. We were all visiting him and we're like, oh, there's a swag gap. And he cared that we thought there was a swag gap, which is why they broke up.
Right. I mean, I'm just not in that place in my life. What I
Fair.
do care about when I'm sitting at the airport, the only time that I'm sitting at, firstly, when I'm sitting in a flight and I get emergency, I'm like, I know none of these other people will help when there's an emergency
You
evacuation.
think so?
No, they don't even look up when the air hostess is telling them, sir, do you speak a language?
But because they've already heard the instruction.
It's basic courtesy demands that if
Yeah.
a person, she's not your maid, okay? She's not your
Right.
slave. You have to look up at the person. She's doing her job, sir. Like, look at her. And I don't think this man will look out for me
Yeah.
by extension, okay?
Fair.
So then I also start thinking that I'm not going to allow you out of my exit gate.
You can't literally gatekeep
Yes.
an emergency exit.
I don't like certain personalities. They don't seem like they'd be helpful people. So
But
then,
if you're in the emergency exit, you will get out first.
yeah.
So then what you're gonna
But you
be
know-
in the water and be like, nay. His energy is bad. You're judging based on swag.
I judge, especially if you're sitting in an emergency seat, you have to judge around you. The person next to you should seem like they can do something in emergency. The guy next to me is always, I don't know why they're always like scratching their fucking toes. Like this guy, by the time he untangles his fingers from his toes, we've already all died. Like
You have the worst luck with people sitting next
I
to
got
you on
scammed in a
flights.
cab at 7 a.m. in the morning. And the
Bombay,
worst part was
Delhi.
my mom found out.
Oh,
You
bro.
know, that's the worst.
Bro,
Delhi.
that's horrible when
Yeah.
your family finds out about something where you seem dumb.
Because every day I make a dumb error and every day I lose a little bit of money, okay? Every day.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's part of the world. It'll come back to me in some other form. Like subscribers, 100K subscribers on
Soon, hopefully.
this podcast.
Please.
But my mom booked me a cab. It was paid online. And 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm not looking out for myself. So he's like, ma'am, ho gaya trip, pay me. I said, okay, I paid. And then I texted on the group saying, I've paid. And my mom said, what? I've paid. And if my mom has
Dude.
found out that she has lost money,
It's
over.
over.
You know?
It's over.
Now, like, we are sitting on Uber Care every day trying to
Bro.
get that money back.
Oh, that's the worst. You know,
Yeah.
when you tell. And parents will really fight for like 100 rupees if it's wrongfully given to someone. And I used to find it so stupid when my dad used to be like, it's online paid. And I'm like, who's gonna scam like that?
You know, the other thing my mom has a problem with is that I leave my skincare in all the places that I operate.
1 second. Even my mom has a problem with this. And I'm like literally when I go back home, one though is in my sister's room,
Yeah.
one is in my room, and one I'm keeping in my parents' room, one is in my bag, and two are at my house. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, overconsumption, final boss. But I need it when I need it,
Yeah.
right? And my mom will be like, please take this back. There's already one in the house. But you're telling, how much space does my Pond Super Light Gel take?
None, no space.
And use it. Everyone use it, unless it's mine.
No, this happened to me. I come back home and I've gotten this hack because I read it in Stardust that Amitabh Bachchan leaves a pair of his glasses in every place. So one in his car, and as a 10-year-old child, I'm like, wow, that's wealth.
That's wealth.
You have more than one of the same
Yeah.
thing. So yeah. So the last time I left Delhi, I made an immaculate drawer of all the things that I want. Come back home and my sister has changed our rooms, taken my skincare because the vibes were better.
Doing something in a vacuum is fine, but when your friends and family find out, it is the biggest ick in the world. And I have recently manipulated that ick with my cousin.
Do share.
because I come across, like, you know, all products have a review, and you're like, who reviews these products? My NRI cousin has written a huge review, and I was like, I have never met anyone who has reviewed it. So obviously, I see this long review and I go into a rabbit hole because doom scrolling is my only passion in life. There's like 10,000 reviews and people have really gone hard on the reviews. Like, Pond's really needs to review these reviews.
This
because
is for every product, or is this for the specific?
I only check Superlight Gel because that's what I was buying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's Pond's job, not mine. But like, these reviews are so specific, and they like talk about, like, there was one where it was like, oh, on my honeymoon I took this, and like, we've all heard about her entire honeymoon in this one review. And obviously I took a screenshot of my cousin's review. Obviously I read it out at the Diwali
Dude, we
dinner.
should do this.
Yeah.
Like a episode where we do like a review, the review.
Yeah. But
That would
no.
be pretty funny.
Should we do it?
Should we ask Ponds?
Should we ask Pons?
Comment down below if
Would-
we should do Ponds review, the review.
Would you be offended if Pons is not watching?
Come on, Ponds.
I would be offended if Pons is not watching this particular episode and taking our $1 million idea of reviewing the reviews and making us review the reviews, actually. Yeah. I feel like there's a specific type of person that reviews products, and I personally only review products when I've had a bad experience. But this Superlight Gel ka reviews were like literally like they were talking to their best friend, but it's just a website.
I feel like I would be a reviewer. I think I am a reviewer. Am I not?
I feel like you're a reviewer.
I review everything. I review creams. I review men. I review.
derogatory.
Oh, suddenly review is like.
No, but I'll tell you. So
Yeah.
I obviously exposed my cousin at this family dinner, but then I forgot that people in glass houses mustn't throw stones. That day I was at my parents' house and I had to go to my bua's house with my sister, and I was like, I'll drive because I only drive like twice a year. So I drove, we went up, like we spent some time at my bua's house, and my sister was like, don't stress, I'll drive back. So I was like, okay. And then she was like, give me the keys. And I looked at her and I was like I was almost offended. Why is this peasant asking me for the keys? How is it my job to have the keys? And then I remembered within 1 second, I was like, yeah, I drove. So obviously I must have the keys. And my car is not one of those cars where like you leave the key in the car and it works. You have to put it in the ignition and you have to turn it on and off. And me, like a fucking fool in all my glory, have got out of the car, shut the door, not even checked for the keys. And I've come up. And it was only my sister, my cousin and me when this happened. But obviously when I reviewed her review, she has told the whole family about it, and now I have lost multiple aura points.
Oh,
And I'm just a girl.
Oh no. I got reviewed recently at a Diwali party. Okay. So it was just me and my sister as the only two young women in the room. And you know,
Preach.
when I'm standing next to people who are older than me, I look significantly younger than my actual age.
Ooh.
So everyone thought I was about 25. So by the time all the aunts had had a little, like a few drinks, they started coming up to me, a 30+ woman, and pinching my cheeks, saying, Beta, you're so cute. And I was like, fair. You know, I do eat.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, where's the lie? And then this one auntie and I, we start having a conversation. And I don't think I've had hotter chemistry in my life, okay? You, yes, but ours is more familial. Her and I, we were really, okay, it was so hot, okay? She comes to me and she's like, Beta, you're so stunning. I said, say more. And then she's like, I'm just saying because I'm looking for a woman for my son. I said, how old is he? She's like, he's 27. I said, Auntie, I'm so sorry. I know I look young, but I'm a little older than that. And then we start having this thing, okay, where we're like, okay, but you know, age gaps don't matter. And if you and I have a vibe, then it's all good. She's like, yeah, by the end of it, she's like, so what's your relationship status? Are you benching? Are you in a situationship?
Oh.
Are you orbiting? I was like,
Who taught her this?
Yeah, I was like, who taught you this? But she had so much charisma that I swear.
I love that. I love that there's a group of women everywhere pretending to be Gen Z.
Yes, I found
Your
my people.
people.
Yeah, my people.
You know, every year I have to like switch between Diwali and then the vibe goes into quote unquote festive. And one of my friends that went to uni hosts a Halloween party every year. Hi, Alia. So I'm trying to get into like from festive to spooky mood. But that is why we wanted to do a combined. Diwali is over. Now, the second half of this episode, if you don't mind going into only India's most celebrated festival, Halloween. हमारा क्या लेना देना Halloween
मुझे
से?
कभी नहीं समझ आया. And this is my other ick also on Diwali the next day when everyone was posting stories about, oh my god, the sound of the crackers with the dogs and the pollution. I'm like, who are you talking to? Everyone reading this story is on your team. Like,
That
we
is
all
true.
agree
Yeah,
that
that is
crackers
true.
suck. I'm like, who are you preaching to?
Yeah, honestly, it's like I feel like everyone, it's like the people that burst crackers and the people that don't burst crackers, like a Venn diagram. Like, but there's no
There's no overlap.
So just two
You know what
separate
is the
circles.
overlap? Halloween, and how no one needs to care about it. But somehow, because I don't know why, maybe Indians love partying, so it's nice when the season seamlessly flows. So we go from festive to Halloween, and then scarier than Halloween, Shadi season. You know, it's like,
Bro.
yeah,
Firstly, this year I actually have to go for a lot of weddings.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm just scared that like all of them are like in cold places.
that's scary.
How am I supposed to wear my hot lehenga
You can't wear
in a
it.
cold? What? I've already bought it, so I have to wear it.
You know what they do in cold places in Europe? They leave the babies in the prams with snow falling on them to sensitize them. So go for a Euro trip early, lie in your bikini in like a snow-clad
to-
mountain, then you can go and you
The
can.
baby is bundled, you know, in this. The baby is warm.
Fine, I'll
Like,
come and hug you, Sakshi. It's fine.
That's my Halloween. I have one Halloween
Yeah.
costume that okay. So I wanted to do a couple's costume this year. Okay. And I want to go as a gold digger. So I was like, obviously, the
How
person I'm doing a
obvious.
couple's costume with has to be a sugar daddy.
Oh,
But unfortunately, I have been told that a sugar daddy is a very accessory type costume. And the person I want to do a couple's costume with wants to be his own man. And that to me is horror. How can they say that to me? That they want to be an individual.
what
with
are
an
you wearing
identity.
as a gold digger?
I
What's
got
the
a
costume?
gold shovel.
Oh, okay.
I'm wearing a sparkly gold dress
Yeah.
with some gold earrings and some gold bangles.
Okay,
And I'm going to be a gold digger.
I love that.
And then whatever, I'll find a costume.
Dude, all the
accessory.
people, all the women who had invested in gold, my god, this festive season, what the hell?
Amazing. I feel like gold has been like the most.
Yeah, rising stock.
You get it.
Yeah, I get it. If you have
Forward your
no
listeners.
financial literacy and you have a little bit of money, please keep putting it into gold, put it into silver. I think you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Really.
Means that's our advice.
That's the only advice I have. As a financially literate person, I can spell 3-word sentences. So with my literacy, I'm telling you exactly this. My God.
My God.
And you know what I think is a scam? Diamonds.
Bro.
What is scam?
Okay, have you been following this whole natural versus lab grown diamond
Not
debate?
following, but yeah.
Like there's no like actual arguments to follow.
Yeah.
But do you have any thoughts on it?
I think natural diamonds are an absolute scam.
Yeah.
And blood diamond.
Blood diamonds, literally. Why would something cost more? Because you sent some impoverished person to the mines to pick it up, and diamonds aren't rare. Even if it's a natural diamond, your resale value is shit. You can't
Yeah.
even tell if a lab grown diamond is lab grown unless you see it with a microscope. And if you're actually judging people based on the size of their diamonds, then I have news for you as a person. Like, it's a little. Why are you gonna sell your engagement ring anyway? Are you looking for divorce? And if you are, then you should have asked for a gold band instead.
Yeah,
Because
a gold
that,
band.
that
A
has
gold
money.
band.
Yeah.
This is my retirement fund.
It's gonna appreciate.
I appreciate you for your positivity. You know where people are not giving up on their diamond rings? Love is Blind. If you are a Love is Blind follower, this is the first season.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
No one has gotten married this season. But not only that, what the fuck was going on in this season? Can we please go person by person?
Yes.
Guys, honestly, watch Love is Blind. It's like the epitome of trash TV, and in the middle, it was getting a little too genuine for my liking. So now, this season, the trash is back.
But I think you can learn so much from that show, especially if you're looking at relationships. You take that show, you see how people interact in the pods. And Love is Blind as a concept, just to break it down, is two people sit across from each other. It's a group of men and women, and they are dating blind. And the only way that they can meet is if one person proposes to the other person, and then they have a bit of time before which they stand at the altar to get married. And if you say, yes, I want to marry you, that means that love was in fact blind. It wasn't based on looks. It wasn't based on anything else apart from the fact that apart from the natural connection that you two people had.
Like they're removing like the superficiality of dating, which is like finances and love. Every single season, it is proved that love is not truly blind.
Yeah, except this season. And it's such a commentary on just the state of affairs in the world.
No, this season in fact proved that love isn't blind.
Exactly, that's
as
what I'm
every
saying.
season did before. Like the only couples that got married were the ones that were sexually attracted to each other based on looks.
But no couple got married.
This season,
Yeah.
no couple got married, and I would be lying. Like a lot of them were good looking. They just didn't like each other.
Okay, let's go couple by couple. Okay, starting with,
Let's start with the biggest shit show couple.
okay, Megan, Sparkle Megan.
Megan and Jordan is your shit show couple.
Yeah.
Stop. Elaborate.
Because it was too real for me. So there's a girl called Sparkle Megan who's an independent woman earning a lot of money, who's in her mid 30s, and she feels like she's now ready to settle down. But of course, there's lots of things going on ahead, and she generally goes for like the finance pro. But this time, she's gone for this guy called Jordan, who is the father of a
5-year-old son.
who has some form of
He
diabetes.
has type 1 diabetes, and firstly, Sparkle Megan is such a stupid name, and Meghan Sparkle was right there, like Meghan Markle, but whatever. Megan's father had type 1 diabetes, and her delusional mother and her delusional sister has sat and said, oh, the universe has given this 5-year-old kid that I've never met type 1 diabetes as a sign that I should marry his father. Like, how deluded
was
is
very
that?
deluded. It was so me.
Yeah. Bro.
I was like, this is getting too real.
And then eventually she got really upset that he had a job that he had to work full time and he couldn't fly to Italy
With her. Yeah.
And but he also, like, I feel like her concerns were valid, but like when you're like, why didn't she kind of offer to retire him if she was so wealthy?
I don't know. But also, I didn't like that by the end of it, he brought finances into the conversation.
Yeah, because
That was
that's
a low
his
blow.
insecurity. She never brought it up. Like, she has a lifestyle, but she was maintaining her own lifestyle. Why did, like, when she broke up with him, which he knew कि वो बात ही नहीं कर रहा था उससे, तो breakup तो
yeah,
होता.
exactly.
Like, he would just come home and he's like, oh, I'm tired. Okay. But like, if you're so invested in your work and all, why did you take 3 weeks off and go to Baja, Mexico?
Exactly.
तभी नहीं याद आया काम तेको. Like,
No, I didn't like it because he
I
said
also
this
didn't
one
like it.
comment about they're like, she's trying to be nice to him and she's like, look, I understand you're tired, but I want to spend some time with you and I feel like we're on the same boat.
Yeah.
And then he said, your boat is
It's much
bigger
bigger
than
than
mine.
mine.
And
Yeah.
that was wrong.
that was why?
Because, what do you mean?
Like, I mean, her boat is bigger.
It is bigger, but he brought the financial insecurity in. She was there with a raft. She was
That's
like, come,
true.
we can
She
be
was
together.
saying, हम लोग tie कर देंगे दोनों boat.
हाँ, वो तो घर भी खरीदने वाली थी.
Bro.
When she was buying the house, then he didn't have a problem.
But you know how delusional of her
That's-
also.
yeah.
ये बंदा बोल रहा है मेरे पास है ही नहीं पैसे. Why are you going and looking at $2 million houses with him? Like, and I love that he was like trying to skirt around the fact that he's poor by saying he's humble. It's really humble. It's really humble.
How he described
It's nice,
us.
but it's humble. But every single season when the guy is much richer,
Yeah.
it's just assumed that the girl's lifestyle will change. So I was quite confused as to why they were talking as two separate entities.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Like I feel like she knew that he wasn't as well off as her. But I'm not understanding. He would like keep talking about like how he has a pair of Gucci shoes. He's fully tatted. He has disposable income. That house did not look like his house. Where
I think he was just throwing a fit, which is where the
So
thing
fair.
ended. He had in every relationship you have to have an ego death, and that is, if it's not happening, then the relationship is.
do you know the rumor, which will be revealed by the time this episode comes out? Apparently, Megan has a kid with some other guy now.
I'm happy for her.
Huh?
Yeah.
The shooting ended 1 year ago. How was she pregnant for 9 months? That we agree, 9
Okay.
months.
Yeah.
She met another man. She's with him. She had a kid with him 9 months, and she's still with him.
Maybe he's a donor. You never know.
No, they found him with papped him in Denver, Colorado. They have papped. Fuck off.
That was obviously paid.
Yeah. But she has money. Firstly, Netflix.
Just drag the whole platform.
What's going on? I understand you want people to pay for fucking 2 months to watch Love is Blind, but people are only watching Love is Blind because they already have a Netflix membership. And I don't want spoilers in my Love is Blind. Why do I know Megan Sparkle has a kid already?
Yeah, that's
Before
not
the
okay.
reunion.
That's not okay. Moving forth.
Please, India, Love is Blind.
Yeah,
but
India, Love
moving
is-
forth. Sorry.
Moving forth, there is then one couple called Calibria and
Edmund.
That is a mother-son relationship if I've ever seen
That's
one.
a therapist-client relationship.
That was so bad.
It feels illegal to watch that. Like
Yeah.
it really feels illegal to watch that. I'm very curious to know what happened with them off camera because she was done with him the moment he was sucking sunscreen off her toes. Disgusting. Like love is not that blind. We all saw that.
I don't have much to say about that relationship. I think my mom and I were watching it together and we were both
Mortified.
holding our breaths. We're like, please don't say yes to this man. And she said no, and both mom and I were like, oh, thank God.
Bro, what do you like? This is such a the breakdown he had in bed when he found out that everyone else had sex and he didn't have sex because she was abstaining till marriage, and he sat in bed and he was crying that he's too fucking nice. It felt like watching like a script because I didn't know these nice guys actually said this exact thing while sobbing. Like, what was he expecting would happen?
Yeah, there's a difference between being a nice guy and there's a difference between being a performative guy. If you're being performatively nice because you want to get inside someone's pants, that's not you being a nice guy. That's you expecting a reward to come for you respecting women. There's no reward.
It's like doing a trick and getting a
Yeah,
treat.
it's not happening. So, yeah, he fully broke down in bed.
But what was best case scenario for him if he cried? Was he expecting her to go like, "You're right.
Let's
You're
have
so nice. Let's have sex." A real panty dropper conversation this is.
And the thing is, Bichara, okay, he's been through lots of things in his life. So his way of processing emotions is also really like it's stunted in a much younger age in his life.
Yeah.
So his breakdowns are also like he just stands in one place
Tantrum.
and he goes, and he cries like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And that's really scary. If I was going to marry a man, an adult,
Yeah.
and that was the person who was going to solve problems with me, I would be alarmed.
Right, because he also has the strength of a grown man.
Yes.
But the tantrum throwing ability of a 5-year-old, and I don't want to be in a radius
Yes.
when that is happening.
But I have to say one thing, Calibria is a great communicator. And one thing she said at the altar, I was like, this I will, if I ever can tell someone to use, please use it. She said, I love you so much, but I have to honor my doubt. And I was like, how many women honor their doubt? You
I
know,
love that. I skipped past the last episode, so I missed it.
I do think it's important to see what happens on the altar because it teaches you how to end relationships. She was the only one who did it with Grace, where the other person was like, even Edmund brought it together. He's like, I really like you, and you're very like.
No, in fact, I thought she chickened out by going like, we can still continue.
Did she say continue?
She didn't say, she was like, oh, it's a no for me for marriage or some shit like that.
She said no. She said I have love for you in my heart.
She broke up with him, or she said,
It's done. No,
Okay.
it's done. And by the way, if you are breaking up with someone, the worst thing you can give them is hope. So if you're breaking up with someone, just end it. End it
shatter
right
their
there.
hopes.
Shatter the hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
No,
I
you
would
have
love
to. Otherwise, they keep thinking that something might come out of this. Like the couple that didn't even make it past the first day, which was that Asian
Casey
guy,
and Patrick.
Casey and Patrick.
That was really fucking weird, huh? Like that whole switch, like why would you? But you know what? You know what?
Having a steamy conversation happen on
Bro,
Love is Blind was not in my bingo card. They literally started having like
Phone sex.
Yeah.
But like, what a pick me type of phone sex. Why is she talking about her like hair down there? What picture was she trying to paint? You know, like, oh, we were all changing together, and the girls were like, oh my god, you're not like us. You have a landing strip.
And in that case, I say, fuck the guy because he fell for it.
Bro, a guy is a. You cannot. What do you mean, fuck the guy? She was trying to turn him on, he got turned on.
Yeah, but then you're thinking not from here at all, right? I can understand if you're hooking up with someone, you're thinking from somewhere else. But when you're going to marry someone and you're like, oh, she has had a steamy conversation with me, now I think she's the one.
Right. She manipulated him. We all agree. But
I'm saying, how, as a 30-plus-year-old man, are you so easy to manipulate?
you've been in a room with 10 other guys for 2 weeks and you've been talking to women for 10 hours. You don't know what they look like and you're having these like
I'm just
intimate
saying.
conversations. I feel like if someone initiated phone sex with me on Love is Blind, I may reciprocate if I'm ever in the scenario. Unfortunately, I don't know what that says about me. But I would like to believe that mine would be more tasteful. Shut up.
She's truly in her Tumblr girl era. Yeah.
Is Tumblr where phone sex happens?
No, Tumblr was, Tumblr, initial days of Tumblr, there were these like very art house, like
Oh, yeah.
NSFW photos that emo girls used to
Yeah.
put up and goth girls used to put up.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about trash reality
Sorry.
TV actually.
Yeah.
But you know what? That couple, I'm glad they didn't end up together. He was so insecure about his appearance.
And so was she.
She wasn't insecure about, she was there for the fame.
She was there for the fame, and she's also a person who's very conventionally attractive. So she knows that she's moved through many things in life
Yeah.
based on how attractive she is. If she didn't, then she would not have initiated that phone sex.
I think she just wanted to
Conversation.
get famous. I think she just wanted to go to Mexico. She wanted to get famous because even the boyfriend that she was talking about, like posted in her boyfriend's actually not that famous. You know, the famous ex that she was talking about. He was like, it was a situationship. We're not even in the same city. We used to like have this weird phone which is where she must have got the phone sex idea from.
Okay. Chalo, all's well that ends well.
And it didn't end well. He didn't even get his engagement ring back.
I think it ended well for both of them.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to the reunion.
Yeah.
Bro, Joe and Madison.
Joe and Madison, batshit.
Yeah.
On both
Ali and
sides.
Anton's an alcoholic. We all agree.
Okay, yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
definitely an alcoholic.
Yeah. And
I,
then-
I think that she could have ended, like she didn't have to end it. Because she wanted exactly what he was giving her.
No, he
apart-
wasn't rich enough for her.
Okay.
Like, she is the sense that I'm like, no, I know the
I feel
finance.
like they had equal amounts of red flags.
Yeah, but they weren't compatible red flags.
Okay.
She would not have minded like him not paying attention to her because he was out making a lot of money. But being an alcoholic and in transport logistics was too much of her.
But imagine you're on your wedding day, okay, you're doing your makeup, and your mother comes to you, and the first thing she says is, I don't like that your husband to be is drinking. Then
Yeah.
your sister comes to you while you're building your mood up. She's like, I did not agree to this relationship and I hope for the best. As if you're going to go to the altar and be like, yeah, of course, my family hates you. Let's get together. It's not going to happen.
Maybe the swag gap was too.
I was waiting for you to bring swag gap. There was okay. At the end of this, on Love Is Blind, there was a huge swag gap, and this is the first season where the reason why all the relationships broke apart was not mutual. All the women said, "I'm so sorry. This is not happening for me." And if that means that we as a people are progressing in life, I'm happy.
So be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to
But-
less scary.
But do you think a Love Is Blind format would work in the real world? Not for like engagement, but like the first date, y'all don't see each other.
How do you do that?
Like a speed dating thing. Like for 1 hour, y'all talk without like.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool because like the art of conversation is so lost, right?
Yeah.
So it really forces
And
you.
sometimes if someone is really hot, you're like, the conversation,
Doesn't matter.
yeah. It's all background noise. Show me your biceps.
Well, I'm waiting for the reunion.
I
It's
am waiting for the
probably going to be
reunion.
out by the time this is out. So if anybody had any traction on this segment of this podcast, we'll do something on our pages for the reunion.
Yeah, maybe a live or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday was Halloween and we're all going to care about it for the next 10 minutes. Okay. Sakshi, did you do an outfit?
Actually, tomorrow is Halloween.
Oh,
sweetie.
tomorrow is Halloween. Let's care about it for
Wait,
10 minutes.
this comes out on 31st. Today
Today is Halloween. Sakshi, are you going somewhere after this?
I am going to Alia's house after this.
As a gold digger?
As a gold digger.
And to my house, which costume and identity will you come with?
As a gold digger. It's an identity. Maybe I can go as an annoying podcaster.
Oh my god. No, then I'll swap outfits with you. You can take mine.
I'm actually feeling your outfit quite a bit.
And I'm feeling your outfit.
Tell me where it's from.
My whole outfit.
Yeah.
My shoes are from Tod's. My jacket is from Zara. My top is from No Black No White, and my shorts are from H&M.
And your socks.
My socks are from Urban Outfitters.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
you, Sakshi?
My heels are from Zara and my dress is from Cider.
It's really nice.
Thank you. I have to say this like voice feature on like YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm. Are
I
you having fun with
I'm
it?
having fun with it, but I feel like I've set an expectation now and I'm getting stressed because the episode that came out last week,
Yeah.
I don't think I've replied to any comments. And I like how we're confusing ourselves with these dumb timelines because Halloween is
Happening today, right now.
on the upload day. Yes.
Is Amavas ki raat. It's Halloween. Let me tell you something about horror, okay? Now that we're on the subject, when I'm watching scary movies and I'm not so good with horror, but I find the jump scares are theek hai, it's fun, like you get scared. But genuinely, the female horror like stays with me, lingers with me, like those commentaries on just women's horror, like Cough really stayed with me. There's a film
Cough,
called The
yeah.
Witch that really stayed with me. Makdi to this day stays with me because they're all talking about the female experience.
Yeah.
Or like Hereditary is a movie that stays with you all the time. Midsommar, like
I
good
haven't
movies.
watched any of these.
We'll have let's tonight after Alia's you come to mine.
But I can't watch horror in the night unless I'm sleeping in a house with other people.
Yeah.
My the light in my lobby, like my floor,
Yeah.
it went out. Okay, so during Diwali it was like off. So every time I left the house, I was like, I'm feeling scared because I was just me in this dark corridor by myself. And then yesterday I just called the guy and I changed all the lights of my floor myself because I was like, I'm not putting up with this.
Dude, it is really scary. And if we've learned anything from Desi Crime, which you and I are avid listeners of, if at 3 a.m. ish, roundabouts, somebody's knocking on your door, you have to ask them 3 times the identity of the person. And if they can't confirm it 3 times, it's probably a spirit.
If at 3 o'clock in the morning someone knocks on your door, don't open it.
But if they're like, oh, because spirits put on voices that are familiar to you. So if it's like, if the spirit's like, hey Sakshi, it's Naina, let me in, then you have to be like, who is this 3 times?
And then
If
will
I
it-
don't respond the 3rd time, it's not me.
But
it's
knowing
the spirit.
you'll forget your own name
Shut
the 3rd time. Then you'll be outside my
I'm
house.
telling you. And then on the 3rd, if they can't say, then you have to tell them, get out. You have to be leave me alone.
Please, have you seen that? You know how like all these digital scams are happening? So you're doing like verbal OTPs.
Yeah.
So someone was like, a man called me and said he is my father and to GPay him 2,000 rupees. So I asked him, what's my date of birth? He gave the wrong date of birth and gave me 2 galis and cut the call. It was my father.
That's the vibe. I want to play a what's scarier game with you.
Okay.
And you have to answer.
You also have to answer.
I'll answer. What's scarier, Sakshi? A white sari Diane on the road at night or an Uber driver who takes the wrong turn?
An Uber driver who takes the
An
wrong
Uber
turn.
driver who takes the wrong
Yeah.
turn. And it has happened to me. And I can't even explain to you what it is, but basically if you're from Delhi, you know the Faridabad road that goes from behind Gurgaon and connects to Delhi. Like 15 years ago, when there was nothing on that road except dacoits, this Uber driver just had to save 10 minutes and taken me from that road. And the entire time he's like, sorry sister, I hope you're not scared. And I'm fucking losing my mind. I'm like, either this guy's going to kill me, or if I tell my mom, she is going to fucking
Yeah.
kill me. This was the worst decision. It was the scariest. I don't know how I got out of that car.
I mean, he didn't do anything.
But I didn't know how I got out of that car. I mean, like, I thank God.
Touch wood, bro, touch wood.
And Sakshi, because in Mumbai, it's not that common.
I'm a little bit, no, I've become very vigilant now because in spite of me saying in all my YouTube vlogs, don't follow me in real life.
Y'all are following her.
Y'all, you know, and which is why actually, let me clarify, is why I stopped vlogging because unfortunately there is a parasocial relationship and the boundary was crossed and I'm feeling a little bit watched and unsafe because of it.
Now we've got
Unfor-
10 bodyguards placed outside Sakshi's
Yeah,
door.
I've had to fucking hire like bodyguards and all now. You're making me less of a people's person.
Okay. What's scarier, Sakshi? A blood-sucking demon under your bed or a boyfriend who puts his phone face down?
A blood-sucking demon under my bed.
There would actually be a demon, or is it like you think there's a demon under your bed?
Like-
because then I would pick the
But,
sorry.
okay, but if you
Then I would
didn't
pick the
know if there
boyfriend.
was a demon and someone told you if you look under your bed, there's a 50% chance there's a blood-sucking demon.
Yeah.
Isn't that scarier than a man who doesn't even know how to cheat properly? Because if he was secure about his cheating, his phone would be like this.
That's true.
He's insecure about his cheating, that's why.
That's
A
true.
real cheater lets everything be. It's like, yeah, babe, check my phone.
Okay, Sakshi. What's scarier? A curse from a witch or a catcall from a group of men?
I feel like being in India, we've all become like desensitized to catcalling. If
You-
it stays at catcalling.
Yeah.
I'm like
Then
a-
the witch, for
Yeah,
sure.
The witch. Because what if the witch curses you to be catcalled by every man?
Only your brain will come up with this exact scenario.
Think about it.
I am.
Reflect on that.
What's scarier, Sakshi? Blood in the coffee machine or a boss who comments on your lipstick shade every day?
A boss who comments on your lipstick.
Yeah, because
shade.
blood you can digest. There's no issue.
Blood means what?
But this comment on my lipstick shade, I can't digest.
Tawba, tawba. Yeah.
Ghost living in the mirror or looking in the mirror and seeing fine lines. Our research person. That Ashna, that's dirty. That's so
fucked.
dirty.
No, ghost. Ghost.
Do you have this thing where when you're washing your face and you close your eyes, you think when you open that's gonna be an apparition?
Yeah.
I,
And not only that, it's like, you know, when you switch off all the lights in your house, like when you're going to sleep and you're walking towards your room, don't you think you're being chased?
I wash half my face at a time.
But your eyes remain.
Yeah, so I said, fuck you, fuck you. Just like, oh, I should wash it this way. I don't want to wash it this way. Takes a younger set of women to correct you in your
No,
ways.
I'm always like on.
High alert. in
Yeah,
your own
like I
home.
take my makeup off like this and I wash my face like. Bro, firstly, you know, I'll be really honest with
Yeah.
y'all. Staring at myself for too long in the mirror, फट जाती है. I can't look at myself. My eyes are really scary. It's not happening. A still body of water after sunset. You're not catching me next to it. It's so scary. Like looking at like a pool alone in the dark. You've not seen that CID episode where a body was floating very clearly because I'm shit scared. I'm scared of everything, bro. And to the point that I get started so easily. Now sushi gets started easily. And now we are both fat out all the
But that's
time.
why I think Mumbai has brought me a lot of peace because this city cannot afford to have ghosts, you know?
There's no space now.
Yeah. that's what
And
I'm
if a
saying.
ghost is staying in my house, split the fucking rent. What the fuck?
We'd be fighting every day.
Yeah, Bob. That's why all these ghosts and these Haveli. Bro, fun fact actually. You know
Yeah.
how all these Havelis like are like haunted or whatever?
Yeah.
Most of the time it's carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, lead poisoning,
And
something or the
yeah,
other.
if you're like carbon monoxide poisoned, you genuinely think you're possessed. Because you see like apparitions and like your brain goes woo woo. It's really fatal actually.
Haunted playground swings or a watchman who doesn't let you into your own house because you came home late.
I would slap that watchman. What do you mean? This happens in like my dad's old colony. It's like really, really conservative.
Yeah.
So anyone that got flats rented, the watchman would be like, "Oh, 10 baje ke baad nahi aa sakte."
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm so sorry. I'm paying rent. Like, how dare you?
Footsteps on the stairs when you're alone or a neighbor always watching your balcony.
Stop. Both are fucking freaky.
Yeah.
Like, how can you can pick?
No, I mean, I'm scared of my neighbors watching my stories also. I don't know. My landlord messaged me saying, I love your podcast. I
Oh,
listen to it to
hello.
understand what my daughter's going through in life.
Hello, Nana's landlord. Beautiful apartment. What do you do for a living?
And lastly, screams from the empty hallway or a man who blocks your exit from a room. Bye. That's like,
You can't block my exit from a room or scream in my hallway.
depends. If the woman's screaming, it's fine in the hallway.
No, because then why is the woman screaming?
No, like a ghost, right? Or is
because
it?
some man only must have done something. na.
That's true.
That's the plot of Om Shanti Om.
Thank you so much. Okay, you guys sent us in some scary stories, and Sakshi, our resident narrator, is going to read them.
We were staying in a vintage Airbnb in Kandy, Sri Lanka, an old royal property with creaky wooden floors. Carbon. One night I woke up to my mom walking to the washroom. The floor creaked, I saw her silhouette and felt her sit next to me when she came back. The next morning I asked why she slept on my bed. She looked shocked. She'd never moved from her bed. Later, I found bruises all along the side where I had felt her sleep. I still don't know what or who that was. Sleep के साथ ऐसे खिलवाड़ नहीं करनी चाहिए ghosts. Firstly, why don't ghosts come out in the daytime?
Yeah, fair. Sakshi, you're so right.
Like,
But is there some photosensitivity thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's enough to scare you in the daytime. It's a night when your guard is down.
If my guard is really up at night.
Yeah.
If I could sleep like a dolphin, you know, with one eye like that, I would do that.
If your parents were to show up as apparitions, because generally spirits take the shape of your loved ones, how would you decipher whether it was real or not?
Verbal OTP. I feel like you have to ask them like something only they would know, but my parents know so little about like that no one else knows because we're barking on
Yeah.
this podcast every week. What would you ask your
So, in
fam?
our family, ever since digital scams and financial scams have been happening, we've come up with a password, a passcode.
Yeah, same, but
Yeah.
I've forgotten it.
Okay.
Don't scam my parents. Dude, you know how on Meta now, like you can do like translations.
Yeah.
Like, and your mouth moves accordingly. So it's so easy to like,
Scam an old
Yeah.
person. Yeah, it is.
or a young person. I feel like if I was busy and someone asked me for an OTP on a call, I might give it.
Don't say these things.
I won't.
This is
Because
getting really scary.
happy Halloween.
Okay, Richa, not named after my best friend. I went to Kolkata for New Year's with my two besties. We stayed at our friend's unused flat, which already had a weird vibe. On the last night, Rohan, the guy I was seeing, and I were in one room, lights off, and my friends in the other. Just as things got intense, we heard a loud crash, like a huge mirror shattering. We switched on the lights to find a small photo frame broken on the other side of the bed. There's no way it could have fallen on its own. I froze. We called my friend. I couldn't move for an hour. Next morning, I flew home and found random bruises all over my arms and legs. Later, my friend told me a laborer had once fallen to his death from that same flat. Turns out the place was haunted.
तो ये ब्रूस क्यों ला जाते हैं हर बार?
I'm also not
I'm
understanding
not
this.
understanding. But that's scary.
I've realized I have no opinions on ghost
No,
stories.
even I don't have,
through
because
this
I'm
whole-
so scared. I'm like, please haunt other people, not me. I'm a good girl. Please, I have to wash my face after I go home. I only want to see myself in the mirror.
I feel you. I think I asked you this question in an earlier pod. Like, if you were a spirit and you were haunting me, how would you want me to know that you're around? We should have a special language.
We should have a special line.
Yeah. What do you want to do? I think you should come and just blow in my ear.
No.
What can we do?
Oh, I got it.
You tell me.
So every time you're talking and you're saying some like one of your zingers, I'll like bring like a invisible microphone so your voice kind of projects.
Every time you're sitting around, I'll just roll a Diet Coke can by your flex.
I love that.
Right? That's
I'm
so
in.
you.
I'm in. Yeah.
Ghosts can be good too.
And every time you're taking a rickshaw, I'll stop the rain from hitting your rickshaw.
Every time you take a rickshaw, I'll stop the meter from going.
It's an Uber, so it doesn't matter. Well, on that note.
On that note.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and
Ooh.
all. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry. And Pawns, if you remember our idea from the first quarter of this video, let's do a review the reviews.
Which feels like a lifetime ago, but yeah, I also forgot our idea. So, yeah, Pawns, if you like it, we're full of ideas. And sponsorship slots in our other episodes.
Bye.